Hey, saludos a todos, bienvenidos aquí afuera del atril. Les saluda Solimar Soto, cellista de la Orquesta Sinfónica de Puerto Rico. Estamos aquí live desde Instagram. Instagram es la aplicación que por pocas veces yo he tenido que escoger para hacer estos live y definitivamente la única forma para yo poder tener a mi invitado de hoy tenía que ser a través de esta plataforma. Así que un saludo a todos los seguidores de Fuera del Atril aquí en Instagram, los que pudieron cruzar a Facebook también. Gracias por estar aquí. Primero quería comentarles que esto obviamente es algo bien nuevo para mí. Yo creo que yo hice un solo live aquí en Instagram hace mucho tiempo y lo hice desde la Orquesta Sinfónica y la verdad es que funcionó súper bien, estuvo muy bueno y quiero ahora mismo que todo el mundo pues esté pendiente porque pronto va a entrar mi invitado de hoy. Así que vamos a recibirlo. Como invitado a el gran chelista, solista, profesor,
Hola,
maestro Amit Peled. Hola,
how are you?
how are you?
Good. The first time I do this live Instagram, so
Same here. So we are doing it at the same time for the first time.
wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on your program.
No, thank you for accepting the invitation.
Mhm.
This is a big moment for me. I mean, I'm a really huge fan,
Oh,
and
thank you.
yes, definitely, and especially because I had to accompany you when you perform with us in
Yeah.
this concert that is gonna be transmitted at 7 p.m., maybe a little bit later.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and yeah, I became a fan right after I heard you play.
Thank you. That was a Shlomo, no, by Bloch.
Exactly. You are going to perform your 2015 self is going to perform
Okay. That was a long
this
time
year.
ago. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like 10 almost 15 years ago.
No, 2015, so 5 years
Five
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago. So it's
Not
not
not that much.
long
Yeah.
time ago. Yeah. Now with the quarantine, it seems longer, but it's
Yeah.
not. So how are you doing in your quarantine?
Doing very well. I practice a lot. I learn new repertoire and I spend mostly time with my family, which is really nice because I'm
Yes,
usually never home. So I also teach from home and I get to spend a lot of time with my kids and my wife. And it hasn't been the case for the past 17 years. So it's nice. So I
I
actually
know.
enjoy the quarantine.
So yeah, it's the silver lining of things like this
Yeah.
that people like you who are really, really busy because you are on tour and you are teaching at Peabody Conservatory, right?
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
also have this amazing cello group that you. I mean, I love the name that they have. I
Yeah.
love everything about it. I've been following them for some
Oh,
time, and
wonderful.
also, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get into it pretty soon. And also, you have a like a chamber orchestra
Yes,
also,
so I
right?
I started on top of everything to conduct as well, and I have a chamber orchestra here in Baltimore, and also an orchestra in Cleveland. So I go between the two, and I love the two orchestras. That there we play for free. We play. People don't pay money
Oh,
to hear us, and everything we do is by donations. And I really believe in it. I believe that people should hear classical music for free. Anybody. So it has been really wonderful to see how the community chip in. So they give us money because they want to have this orchestra, and we have wonderful musicians in it. So
that's
I
great.
work really hard with them, and they get paid well, of course. So the idea is that musicians get paid well, but the public gets free concerts.
That's an amazing concept.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it has been wonderful. And next year, the cello group, the cellist from the orchestra will play a whole concert with me. And we have wonderful soloists, clarinetists, and violinists. So it's an exciting orchestra to have here in Baltimore. And it's a good way to keep our wonderful young musicians here after they finish college. We don't want them to run away to other places. So it's a good way to keep them here because we pay them, and that's a reason for them to stay. So it's a wonderful combination of keeping them here, but offering the community or concerts. I just hope that there will be concerts next year. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But let me tell you that concept that you have is very encouraging for young musicians because they need to pay several things to keep having your lessons with you and having the experience of studying such a prestigious conservatory. And you are giving that for free for the public, but they're so motivated because they're earning some money.
Exactly. So this is a very, very important for me that the students, well, in the orchestra, most of them are not students, but even in the cello gang, where they're all students of mine, it's very important for me to make a point that they get paid. They get paid for this engagement. So it's a professional setup.
Wow.
But I really want to make sure that when they finish to study with me, not only that we're in the classroom, I also take them to the stage where, as you know, playing in an orchestra, all the magic happens on stage and you cannot plan it.
Exactly.
And I want them to experience this, and I want them to experience what it means to travel, what it means to wake up early and then to get to a place and to go on stage and to play and to produce. And on top of this, to get paid for it. So the CDs that we made and all the concerts that we do, and also we do a lot of outreach. So I make them come with me to schools and they have to teach the experience of teaching. So I want to make sure that they experience the real life of a performer before they finish Peabody. So I'm very happy that it's working. Unfortunately, this summer we had 3 big projects, one of them here in our area, to teach in public schools, in 25 public schools, and to play concerts there, but it got postponed because of the coronavirus. And then we were supposed to go to Mexico and to do the same, to welcome 6 local cellists from Mexico and to play with them and to work with them. But again, this got postponed. And so all those projects that we have are now on hold a little bit, but we will go back to them.
I'm pretty sure you will, and it's amazing. It's such an incredible thing. I went into Temple University. I studied with Orlando Cole on my mid-90s, and I graduated. I did my undergrad here in Puerto Rico in cello performance, but then I went a year and a half to study privately with him. And then I did my master with him, and I had a quartet that we went to auditions for the Ravinia Festival, and we didn't get in, but our judge was Air Carlis, the Juilliard. And then he was teaching at Peabody, and it brings me memories because he was he invited us to have several lessons with him on chamber music. And then the first one was on a Good Friday, and it was my first year. It was really awkward for me to be doing that on a Good Friday. And then I see all the processions in Baltimore, Center City, of all the people with the Via Crucis and everything. It was a really incredible experience. But
now it's the same weekend, so
exactly, and then I had several friends who are now my colleagues at the symphony orchestra who went to Peabody too. So I remember visiting them or watching the recitals. And
it's a wonderful place. So
it
that's
is
nice to hear this story.
So
You
I'm
know, I
happy
don't know
that
if you know, but the Casals Festival
Mhm.
is supposed to happen in early June.
Yes.
And I'm supposed, if it won't be postponed, I'm supposed to play the Elgar with the orchestra. So
Oh, really?
maybe on June 6th. So maybe if everything goes well with the corona, maybe we'll see each other very soon.
That will be amazing because
Yeah,
that will be full circle. You performed
yeah,
with us in 2015.
yeah.
Then 2019, you came here to
To
perform in
the
the Casals Festival, but just
yeah,
a piano cello recital, right?
yeah, yes, yes, yes. The two Brahms sonatas. That's true.
Oh my God. And of course, since we were rehearsing for our performances
I
for the
know you
Casals
you couldn't
Festival,
come. Yeah,
we cannot go to
I
see
know.
all the guests that the Casals Festival brings. So I couldn't
I
hear you play
remember.
both sonatas.
Yeah.
But I heard from several of my students that it was amazing. They
Oh,
were
thank you.
very impressed with the pianist, and because
Yeah.
that is a huge thing for the
Yeah,
pianist.
it's Noreen Polera, and she's a
Yeah,
terrific pianist, and we recorded it together, so that's why we
that's
also
amazing.
played it. Yeah, so
What
that
an
would be
endurance.
that would be nice to be back. I hope so. Let's see if,
Yeah,
what will
everything
happen.
is calendar. I mean, for us, late May, June is all intact because we never know what will happen. So,
Exactly.
as far as it is, it's
Mhm.
on schedule. So,
Let's
you
hope.
can, day by day, we'll be hearing the
Mhm.
news about it. So, I'm really happy that you'll be back. And let me ask you, because this is a question that I have, and I'm very curious about it. Um, I heard from you the first time when you came to perform the Shalom with us, and I was wondering who invited you to perform with our orchestra, with the Orquesta Sinfónica de Puerto Rico. How was that connection between
Well,
you and the orchestra?
it was Maestro Valdez. I think he heard of me from Marta Casals
Okay,
because I used to
because of the cello, right?
yeah, because of the cello I played on it for 6 years, and I think before I came in 2015 I came to play a recital before
Okay,
in the
okay,
Casals Festival, and he was there with his wife, with Jody. They're very nice. He
yes,
came to the recital, and Marta Casals was there as well, and he heard me in that concert. And
okay,
afterwards we were talking, and it took a year or two, but he invited me to join the orchestra, and we became very good friends and colleagues, and he's an amazing person and conductor. And we met last year in Warsaw in Poland, because we both performed for Penderecki
yes, I
85th
remember.
birthday, and now he passed away, but we met there, and we are going to perform the Elgar, God willing, if everything will be okay, also in Chile next
Oh,
November. So I'm very honored to make music with him. He's a great conductor, so, and a very nice person, which is rare combination. So um, that's how it all started.
okay, yeah, because I thought that the cello had something to do with it. I want all the our fans of Fuera del Atril. Let me explain you to you first. This is a concept that I have. It's a project where I interview the
Hmm.
musicians of the orchestra, what they do behind and after they perform, on their
Hmm.
breaks. If it's
Oh, nice.
musical, non musical, it doesn't matter. And then I also, if I have a chance and I run really fast, I interview the soloist also.
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, because if I'm performing and then the solo is finished and then they take them away, I have to really run from
But
my
that's a
music set.
wonderful idea.
Thank you. So I want everybody to know your journey with Pablo Casals cello. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so in 2012, in 2012, I met Mrs. Casals here in Washington, and I played for her. And one thing led to another, and she offered to lend me the cello and
Okay.
Gofriller, and I started playing on it. and it needed restoration. It needed checkup because it for many years was not played. Mm-hmm. And what started as a 1-year agreement ended up being 6 years. And wow. I had an amazing journey to find my own voice with it. And of course, I miss it greatly, but I had to drive it for a while, and now it's resting until the next driver. And it was amazing to make recordings with it and to take it all over the world, and to have people meet the cello again. A lot of people I met in all continents mm-hmm. that heard the maestro years and years ago, and they wow. now saw and heard the cello, many of them in tears, because some of them saw and heard the cello in the 50s of last century or 40s. And wow. now they heard it again, and they're very old now, people. And it was very emotional. Almost every concert I played on the cello, there was somebody that was connected personally. It's when I was in Loveland, Colorado. It's a very, very tiny town in Colorado. Mm-hmm. I played a recital, and somebody came up to me, a man who in his 50s, and he told me that his father was a U.S. Army photographer in the U.S. Army in Puerto Rico. So in the 50s of last century, he was stationed in Puerto Rico, and he loved classical music. So as a hobby, he used to take photos of in his basement. His father passed away, but he left him a big box full of photos from the festival. Wow. So because of the cello, it reminded him of this, and he brought the photos, he scanned them and sent it to me, and I sent it to Marta Casals. And so stories like this have happened everywhere. And I also published a book for children.
Yes.
Here, I'll show you just a second.
About that too.
So I was not prepared, but here I have it right next to me. So
it's okay. I'm very sure you have it everywhere.
I have the book. It's called A Cello Named Pablo. And yes. It's my story with the cello. And the story is told from the cello. The cello is telling the story. And this
really?
Yeah, and this is for kids.
The cello is the voice of the book.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah,
wow,
and the cello
that's amazing.
The cello is telling the story of how it was made in Venice in 1733 and how it got to meet Pablo Casals, and they became very good friends. And then when he died many years later, it was asleep, and then I came to play it, and it was awake again. And it's really, I've been reading this book for kids all over the world, and it's an amazing feeling to share classical music through this book with kids. And
but you made it even more special because you didn't use your voice as a cellist, as a performer. You used the voice of a cello that had an history, and so it has kids can identify, even adults can identify
exactly.
So with the cello describing that journey.
So there are wonderful illustrations here by a friend of mine, Avi Katz, his name. Here's Pablo Casals with a pipe playing the cello. And
oh, wow.
It's a wonderful book. You can buy it. Of course, anybody can buy it online. And it's a really great book.
That's amazing. It's an amazing idea. I think we had somebody here, a writer here in Puerto Rico. I don't know if you heard about that book that was also for kids. That is a book, but from the point of view of Pablo Casals when he was little.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was called Un Niño Llamado Pauet. Pauet was the nickname of Casals.
Yeah.
And then it's all about his point of view of what his mother did, and
this is really about the cello.
Exactly.
And,
and I love that because it's not usual to have the voice of an instrument talking about to kids and
Yeah.
adults.
So I can.
So I really, congratulations on that book. I'm really happy that the whole world heard about that cello through your voice, and
Yeah, and
everybody.
if anybody wants, if you write on YouTube a cello named Pablo,
Okay.
I made a radio show when I read the book with the illustrations,
Oh,
and they can see it and also hear that on this radio show they put the sound of Pablo Casals playing, and then at the end I play the cello, and it's really for kids. It's called
wow.
Classical for Kids. So anybody can look on it on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that in Spanish if somebody doesn't understand. El libro que el maestro Peled escribió sobre un cello llamado Pablo, el viaje del cello, es a través de la voz del cello como tal. El libro leído por él está en YouTube, lo pueden buscar bajo el título del libro y lo van a encontrar y van a oír un show de radio donde él lo grabó. La primera parte, Pablo Casals tocando ese mismo cello, y al final van a escuchar al maestro Amit Peled tocando el mismo cello. Eso es como un antes y un después, y el cuento entre medio de los dos sonidos del cello. Así que busquen el libro, el cello name Pablo.
Yeah.
Así que el cello tiene nombre. So, did you name the cello like that? It's gonna be forever Pablo?
That was my nickname to the cello. I called it Pablo. And
yeah, I have a nickname for mine too. So
yeah, what is
everybody
it?
does that.
What is it?
Rubio. Blonde.
Rubio.
Yes.
So if anybody is interested to buy it, you go to the website of the publisher. It's CTM Classics.
Okay.
If you write it CTM Classics, a cello named Pablo, you have a link, and they always let me know about it, and I can sign a book. So whoever buys it from CTM Classics, they ship it all over the world. So if you want now in the quarantine, if your kids are bored, maybe instead of electronics, instead of iPad, they can read, a book.
That's amazing. Yeah, definitely. So todos los padres que están escuchando esto, si ya están cayendo fuera de recursos para entretener a sus hijos con los libros que han leído 20 veces, ahí tienen un buen libro para buscar, y lo tienen que buscar directamente en la casa donde se editó, y el maestro les firma el libro y se lo envían por correo firmado por el maestro.
I will send you the link because it's CTM Classics. I'll send you the link later.
Yes. Do you send me everything, the link for that, and if you can send me the YouTube link
yes,
for the
reading,
will. That would be amazing. So how do you feel performing because of your background? You were born and raised in Israel, right?
Yes, I was born in Israel and I grew up in a kibbutz, which is a social community, and that's where I started to play.
Okay, and you also did sports, right?
Yeah, I used to play basketball.
That's
and
why you're so tall.
yeah, I'm so tall, but yeah, I realized that I'm not going to be an NBA player, but for a while I was very good. So I did both all through high school, and then I had to decide because both took too much time, and I had to make a decision.
And you decided for the cello then?
I decided for the cello, which is much less money, but more enjoyable career and much longer. So
there are things money cannot pay, and
exactly.
That's one of them.
Exactly.
Wow.
And another very special story is that when I started to play, I was 10 years old in the kibbutz. I started to play because of a girl. I was sort of in love with a girl who played cello.
Oh, and she got the cello.
And she was older, but my parents bought for me a present to encourage me. After a few months, a little tape cassette. This was a long time ago in the 80s. A tape cassette of Pablo Casals playing. So I really fell in love with the sound of the cello. I didn't know who Pablo Casals was, of course. I didn't know.
But that was your first influence.
That was my first, and I used to fall asleep with this tape every night. I had the machine on my bed, and I would press play and fall asleep with the tape. And you know, many years later, I got to meet his widow, Marta, and to play his cello. So it's really a dream
It's
come
full
true.
circle for you since you were a
Yeah.
kid.
Yes.
That's why you were so involved with the instrument. I mean, anybody could be really honored to have the privilege to play that instrument, but to have it and get to know it and change strings and do all these perks for you to like shine with it and make it
Yes.
shine and say, here it is again. And if
Well, it
you
was a
didn't,
long journey. And
yes,
I remember when I got it from Mrs. Casal, she said two things. One, she said, go and share it with the world, share the legacy of the maestro with the world.
mm-hmm.
But number two, she said, go and find your own voice with it. And it took me time to understand it and to find it. And voice is not necessarily just your cello voice, it's what you do with the cello.
Exactly.
And I feel today, now 6 years after, and when I don't have the cello, but I have my voice.
Yes.
So publishing this book for kids and having this orchestra that plays for free and doing all those things that I do now is really part of this journey and the conclusion of it, and learning who Pablo Casals was as a human. So I
Because
really feel
once you have the instrument, of course, I'm pretty sure you all your journey through your learning the cello. Um, of course, Pablo Casals is a huge name around the world. It's an association automatically. And then you have the cello, and the cello is not in this optimal condition. Do you think that, because of my experience, do you think that you needed more time to make it like grow even more
oh,
and see
definitely.
more part of you as a cellist?
Definitely. And also this particular instrument is not easy to play, and you really need to learn how not to disturb it. It's an instrument
Okay.
that if you push too much, it shuts off. And
Yes.
I think many people
Wow.
have done that mistake with this cello. It's a very unique voice, but it's a voice that you should find and let it be rather than create. And
Exactly.
I learned a lot of how to be much more relaxed because of this as a player, because I could never really do it without finding a way not to disturb it. So this particular Goffriller is not like any other cello I've played before. It's much harder to find the voice, but once you find it, there's nothing like it.
So it's very difficult to say, oh, this is a fortissimo passage or it's a very lyrical passage. I'm going to put my bow
No,
100% with... No.
you
It
cannot
just
do it.
shuts down.
You cannot do it. You have to do it by letting it be rather than by pushing it. Yeah.
It's difficult. It's very difficult to
Very
do.
difficult, but it's also a great experience because
Yes.
by controlling your weight and not using
Exactly.
tension, you can create much more. So quality, I learned with this cello that quality carries away much better than quantity. The quality,
I was gonna say that you need to learn how to self-control yourself.
well, but
Emotionally.
once you find the quality of it, you find that even in a big hall, the quality carries much more than the loud sound. If you have qualities of sound, it carries much more. So
Okay.
with this cello, I've learned that lesson big time.
Okay. Yeah, it is a really interesting story for me as a cellist, because it's very hard to keep your emotions in control, and of course physically you are a tall person, and
Yeah.
then to control yourself, your long arms and everything around a cello that doesn't respond the same way that
Exactly.
a cello that demands power and demands weight, it's very different. What cello do you have right now that where you perform all your solo
Right
performances
now,
around the world?
I play on a Viom, which is very different. Right now, I have,
Yes.
but it's a very big cello, which physically fits me much more. Of
For me,
course,
it will be horrible. I'm tall, But those cellos, I had a Montagnana copy, and I mean, it was really painful for me,
Well,
for my
actually,
legs and
I have to say
everything.
that for the first time in my life, physically, I feel it's like you buy a suit that finally fits you. So,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
and physically, I mean, it's not the Go Thriller, of course, but physically it feels much more comfortable and it has a big sound. So when it's much easier, but of course I miss the old sound of the Go Thriller. But
But
I cannot afford buying cello like this. Nobody can. So
I know it. I mean, of course, but sometimes we need to have you have a win-win situation. You have a
yeah.
cello that fits you as a tall
Yeah, and
person.
it's an amazing cello. So it's it's great that I can play on it, but it's not the Go Thriller or a Stradivarius. So, but for those you need a patron that will maybe give it to you. And I've had that for many years with the Casals cello, and before that I had a Guarneri cello. And right now I feel more comfortable to just have my own instrument and not to be obliged to play on instrument that is not mine. But I do
But that's
miss.
a relief also for you
It's a
because you can
relief, but
be comfortable.
I do miss the old sound. Yes.
Yeah, it was 6 years,
And I wanted to add also that now every Sunday I do my live stream on Facebook. So this is for cellists.
Exactly. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So this is a program that I've been doing for a while, but now with the quarantine, it's a chance for cellists from around the world to get together and to ask questions. And last week I usually answer questions about technique, about music. Last week I felt it was wonderful weather, so I played outside my house, and the whole neighborhood came, and it was so. But tomorrow I'm going to talk about mainly about the violoncello that I have, and the strings and the tailpiece, and hopefully to get some questions about my technique book, which is called the First Hour. It's a book about what do you do in the first hour of practicing.
That's
And
good.
it has a lot of exercises and patterns, and it's always wonderful to see the questions from all over the world. I know that some cellists, for instance, from Australia, every Sunday they wake up, it's 5:30 in the morning for them, and they have coffee and they watch
That's
this.
not, that's so cool. Really, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, so I'm happy to do it, and to find really through the internet, through Facebook or Instagram, how easy it is for us now to communicate, which is really wonderful.
Yeah,
I
it's
even hear
not.
your dog, or I hear a dog barking now. So
Exactly. Like, for example, you were talking about like, learning cello through the 80s. Like, I did also, and my 90s, of course. And I see these kids now that they can watch any cellist that they want on YouTube. They can watch any tutorial. They can watch anything. I know it's not the same when you are one on one, but it's a huge help
yeah,
to
but
have that information.
it's also a problem because a lot of the young cellists I find when they go on YouTube, they usually look on what's first. So what I do with my students, I always tell them, if you look on YouTube, it must be black and white. You must look at something
Yes,
that is black and white. Because
exactly.
unfortunately, you will be shocked, but many of them don't know who Pablo
Hmm.
Casals was, or Pierre Fournier, or Tortelier, or Leonard Rose. They don't know.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Not only that they don't know, even if they know the name, if you ask them if they know a particular recording of those people and why they like it or why they don't like it, they cannot answer it. So it's very
Wow.
sad. Even though you have YouTube, we had to work hard to listen to a recording, and therefore we became fanatic about it. These
Yeah.
days, you press a button and you get it, but it's not necessarily that sometimes they listen to a recording, they don't even know who is playing, but
Yeah.
it looks flashy, so they think it's good, and they don't look. And if it's old and it's black
It's
and
all
white
about
and
the
it
optics.
yeah, and it has some kind of noise maybe in the background, it's not good enough, so they don't look at it.
Yeah, because what does noise? I mean, why do I have to hear something so old? you know.
So it's YouTube is not only a benefit for those kids because they don't understand where to look and what to listen to.
Exactly.
So as teachers, we have to guide them a little bit
Exactly.
through it, and also to explain to them why those recordings are so special and so significant.
Exactly.
Why you can recognize Casals' sound or Fournier's sound or Rostropovich, and why, unfortunately, people that are much younger, you can't recognize it. All sound the same.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, we all had that thing about that. Close your eyes and try to guess who's playing this back suite, and then they was there like, you know, oh, that's Fournier. No, no, that's Rostropovich. No, that's Pablo Casals. And of course, we all have that Pablo Casals back suites here, right in our ears.
Of course.
When he recorded it in the middle of the whole war. So that's a sound that a whole generation of cellists have in their mind, and it's automatic. You know it. And let me ask you something. What cello did you have when you performed the cello that we are gonna hear today?
I don't remember, but I think it was the Casals cello because it was 2015, so I had the cello.
Okay.
I'm almost 100% sure it was the Casals cello, but I don't want to make a mistake. Sometimes when I traveled when I had the cello, I did not take it if the weather was too humid, so I don't want to make a mistake. But I'm almost sure it was the Casals cello.
Oh wow, that's amazing because that was my other question. You are playing a piece from your country, a hymn. It's already a hymn between cellists, and everybody knows that Shalom means Israel, and then you are playing it in the cello that belonged to Pablo Casals.
Yeah.
What was your like inner thoughts when you had that opportunity to do that combination?
Well, I have to say with this piece, with this cello, almost every piece was meaningful because of Pablo Casals, to play or to record. But yes, the Shlomo is a very dear piece for me because I played it many times and recorded it, and it's the tunes are connected to who I am. And I think the combination of doing this in Puerto Rico with the Casals cello was very special, and with an orchestra of people who majority grew up on Pablo Casals and with that sound and with that legend in mind. So I think it means what music is all about. It's about continuity and about the fact that those instruments are, we are just drivers. They're in eternity, and we are just there for a moment. In that moment, Shlomo can become the voice of this cello. In another moment, it could be the song of the birds. In another moment, it could be Bach suites. But the cello will always, if you learn how to respect it and not to disturb it, like I said, it will become you. It will become the person who is singing with it at that moment. And I think with the Shlomo, that was really special to play. Again, I don't remember particularly that concert if it was that cello, but I played the Shlomo on the Casals cello many times through the 6 years.
If you go to the link that I shared with you, which was the link to WIPR.
I will. PR, maybe you can send it to me.
You'll see the cello, and then you will tell me later.
I can see it in a second, but maybe you can share with me the link afterwards again.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm really happy that you are here. It's an honor for me. Lots of cellists from Puerto Rico got connected. I'm seeing them. Some of my colleagues from the Puerto Rico Symphony Orchestra are here too.
Wonderful. Well, hello everybody, and I hope to see you and play with you in June, the Elgar.
Yes, I have a student of mine, Shari, that says, thank you for this. Congratulations on the book.
Good.
So she said that, and then I have trumpet players, I have trombone players, I have everybody connected. They loved your performing. I have even the page of the Orquesta Sinfónica de Puerto Rico connected, so the orchestra is connected.
Oh, also. Wow.
So this
Wonderful.
is amazing. And there's
Great.
people saying hi from Germany to you, from Brazil.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, for me, for my page, is great because that's the purpose. Knowing you away from the lights and this, the stage and your practice and everything, you are sitting comfortably in
I'm
your
very comfortable.
environment. Yes. And then it's great that we have that opportunity now to know the musicians in this angle. And that's the purpose of my project. So
Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to participate, and also hope to see you and the rest of the orchestra in June.
Yeah, we are eager to do to have you and hear you perform the Elgar in your cello. I mean, it's gonna be full circle, and of course, I'm gonna run after you perform and
We do
try
the
to get
interview.
an interview with you.
Okay, it's a deal. I will wait for you.
So walk slowly. Tell the driver wait a little bit because she's coming in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, I will be there. I promise. I promise.
The orchestra even, I mean, they let me do that because they know it's important and it's having a huge impact in the students.
Of course.
It's having a huge all the words that you're saying today not only inspire cellists but inspires any musician, a young musician that can hear you perform, and they're gonna hear you perform right away.
Thank you.
Canal 6 WIPR is called Sábados Sinfónicos, and I'm talking with the soloist of that 2015 concert, and the conductor was Maximiano Valdez, and we also performed that day one of the Mendelssohn symphonies, the Reform Symphony, and we played a modern piece as an overture. So I hope you can watch it. I hope you can enjoy it. And it's an opportunity for you also to watch you.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. If you send me the link again, I will watch it. I'll have a glass of wine and watch it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Maestro Peled, I'm going to say in Spanish, es un honor para mí haber tenido a Maestro Peled aquí conmigo en Instagram Live. Esto ha sido una experiencia increíble para mí como chelista.
Gracias.
Estoy muy agradecida de que me contestó que sí rápido cuando le escribí. No nos conocíamos, así que esta es nuestra primera, this is our first meeting. We didn't know each other, and you said yes right away. I was like, whoa! I was like really happy. So thank you very much, and all the best for you and all your endeavors with all your projects. You are a visionary person. You have vision, you have purpose, you have a goal, and that goes beyond the cello, and we are grateful for it because we are going to benefit from it. So
thank you.
All the best for your cello gang, all the best for you, and have a safe quarantine. Enjoy that wine watching you perform.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Aquí tuvimos al chelista Amit Peled como visitante de mi Instagram Live. Quería decir unas palabras antes de irnos. Qué bueno que se conectó con nosotros. Estoy bien impresionada, de verdad. Como les dije, no lo conocía personalmente antes de hacer este acercamiento que hice porque me di cuenta que iba a tocar. Lo sigo en Instagram, escucho sus grabaciones, me encanta cómo toca y le escribí por Instagram, voy a hacer un live porque usted va a tocar en el concierto de este sábado que se va a transmitir por el Canal 6. Le gustaría entrar al live y hablar conmigo, y dijo que sí, así que check en mi bucket list. Así que bien contenta por esa oportunidad. No quiero que dejen de ver la entrevista de Josué. Tiene ya casi 200 views en menos de 24 horas porque dejé a todo el mundo en suspenso porque la entrevista tiene varias partes y el el punto donde lo deja en suspenso es un punto bien dramático y hay gente, incluyendo gente de orquesta, Pedro, que me han escrito, pero cuando viene la segunda parte yo quiero escuchar qué pasó. Es como una novela. Incluso el protagonista me escribió, pero ¿qué pasó? Yo quiero escuchar lo que pasó después. Y yo, pero si esta historia, chico, tú sabes lo que pasa después. Y él, no, pero es que estamos contándole y es otra cosa. Así que la segunda parte va cuando, palabras de Josué Casillas. Así que vean la entrevista de Josué, vean el video. Les agradezco a todos la acogida que tiene el video, sobre 6,000 views del video del dúo mío con el trombón bajo de la Orquesta Sinfónica de Puerto Rico, Ramón Serra, mi esposo, de la melodía What a Wonderful World. Y pendientes, porque de parte mía va a haber otra sorpresa tocando cello. Va a estar bien chévere. No puedo nunca hablar nada, como pasó la primera vez. Así que no pierdan esa oportunidad de ver eso. Estén pendientes a todas las redes sociales de Fuera de la Tril, en Facebook, aquí en Instagram. Me encanta, se conectó un montón de gente, me leer un montón. Y la tuve que hacer aquí porque no tengo todavía la facilidad de hacer el screen dividido con la persona invitada en Facebook. Y por eso me moví a Instagram, para poderlo tener a él, porque él tiene su cuenta en Instagram también. Así que mil gracias a Amit Peled. Disfruten de este concierto que van a ver ahora, 5 años antes, que yo estaba haciendo en 2015. Fuera de la Tril no existía todavía. ¿Qué más pasó? Ese fue el año donde fuimos gente, la Orquesta Sinfónica fue gente. ¿Por qué? Porque hicimos 7 funciones llenas completas de la música de Star Wars en anticipación al lanzamiento del episodio 7, y eso fue una cosa apoteósica. Empezamos en Halloween y terminamos en diciembre. Eso fue en 2015. Así que muchas cosas pasaron en ese tiempo que vino el cellista Amit Peled. Estábamos en el Star Wars Face bien arriba. Así que eso pasó también. Cualquier concierto que esté en estos días, Viernes Santo, ayer se transmitió la Pasión según San Mateo de Johann Sebastian Bach, como parte del Festival Casal. Se transmitió por el Canal 6, fue en el escenario de la Universidad de Puerto Rico, recinto de Río Piedras, el Teatro de la UPI. Así que la orquesta está presente en sus vidas a través de los videos que ellos están tirando, de nuestros compañeros músicos, los cuales todos los pueden conocer en el canal YouTube de Fuera de la Tril. Muchos de ellos ya han sido entrevistados. Yo, cuando cumplo el aniversario, doy el conteo de cuántos entrevisté este año. Ha sido un año bien accidentado para Fuera de la Tril, pero ustedes han estado ahí presentes todo el tiempo. Así que mil gracias por eso. Y no se pierdan el concierto, ¿ok? Cuídense mucho. Si no lo pueden ver en televisión, lo pueden ver por WIPR.PR. WIPR.PR. That's the link for the internet. Ese es el link del internet por si no lo pueden ver en televisión. Así que me despido por ahora. Estoy feliz por toda la gente que entró. Gracias a todos los que saludaron. Gracias, les mando el saludo a todos. Ahora me siento a ver el live, contesto todas las cosas que escribieron. Y a todos los que se conectaron, to all the people that connected around the world, from Germany, Brazil, I saw people, of course, from the United States, all the cellists that came in to hear Maestro Peled talk with me. Thank you. And you can always be invited to join me here in Fuera de la Tril. I'm Solimar Soto, cellist of the Puerto Rico Symphony Orchestra. Soy Solimar Soto, cellista de la Orquesta Sinfónica de Puerto Rico y manejadora de este proyecto.